Okay, hello, this is Rani Ahmed with you. This is lesson 7 in installing and using FreeBSD Unix. Now in this system, in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to add a new disk to the operating system and how to partition it using the FreeBSD method. Now before going to use the the dedicated tools for this, we have to say some theory over here, which is here in Wikipedia they're talking about the GUID partition table. Now in FreeBSD they are using this way starting I think version 9 of their operating system, and in the classical way that we used to do, like in Windows 98 and maybe up to Windows XP, we used to use, and even DOS, those old days we used to have a partition table of type MBR, master boot record. Now the partition table is where you have a list of disk partitions, okay, where you divide your disk into separate areas, okay, and each area is a separate as if it's a separate drive, okay. Now I would love you to read about this GUID partition table more from Wikipedia. They explain better than I do, but all I want to highlight is this or those three lines, so those lines talk about that the master boot record, okay, is like too limited, okay, with respect to our current needs, okay. Now the MBR allows one partition, okay, just like each partition has a maximum size of 2 terabytes, okay, like 2000 gigabytes for those who don't know. So yeah, while the GPT, which is the newer way, okay, that FreeBSD is now using, okay, allows you to have 9.4 zettabytes, see, okay, which is like you're talking about 9,400 almost, or 8,000 terabytes, between that size, okay. Anyways, so, and it also allows you to have up to 128 partitions per partition table, okay. While the MBR allows you up to 4 primary partitions, and then you can select the last one to be a logical partition if you want, and divide it as much as you want, but this is very too limited, okay. Now let's move on to our topic, okay, the main thing here, which is how to use the new disk. Now here, my virtual machine, I'm going to add a new disk, okay. Imagine that I have a new metallic, physical disk I'm going to install. Now to install a disk that is like, to install it like as while your computer is running, you have to use a SCSI disk, okay, a disk whose data port, not the power port, of course, the data port has to be a SCSI or SATA, okay, SATA. So this is a SCSI, SCSI, and SATA is very much similar with respect to the operating system. They are almost the same, okay. So they run on the fly when you add them. So I'm going to add one disk here. So I'm going to select hard drive, going to select an existing hard drive, and I'm going to browse for it, okay. And this is my new disk, which is which represents a 1 gigabyte drive, and I select finish. Now currently you won't see anything, okay, anything new from your disk, okay, from your operating system. Okay, so I'm going to press save and see the changes, please. Okay, so this is the new disk here has been added. When you see this, it means that there is a new disk has been added. Okay, and this disk has a geometry named DA1. Okay, now this DA1 is a file here. When I list my /dev/DAs, now DA0 is my main hard drive which holds the operating system, and DA1 is the one that holds the new drive. Okay, so those are representations of the true hard drives themselves. So when you write on, if you open Nano, whatever the editor you want, if you open those files with an editor, you are really and in reality and seriously writing directly to the hard drive, okay, when you are root. Now let's move on. I want to partition DA1. Okay, so there's a tool named gpart here. Okay, so when I press gpart without anything, it gives you all this kind of help. So the whole drive here is called a geometry. So the DA1, the DA0, okay, are called all are geometries. So please don't mess with the DA0 because this is the main drives one. Otherwise you will be you will have your system gone. Okay. So next, so gpart. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that this is show, and show will show you all the geometries and their partitions. Okay, so I have only one geometry here. Whenever you see an arrow like this, the equal and the greater sign, okay, whenever you see this, this means a new geometry, a new partition table even. Okay, so the partition table is where it holds all those partitions. So anything like this line, the next up to the where it says free, okay, those 926Ks, okay, this is all the contents of the partition tables. Sorry, it's one, and every partition is on a separate line. Okay, and here all are the partition numbers. Okay, that's why you get DA0 P2 and DA0 P1 and DA0 P4. Okay, here ls/dev/da star. Okay, so this is P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay, while DA1 has nothing yet. So I want to add DA1, okay, something. First, I don't see anything called like a partition geometry like this line with this arrow. Okay, and this is like as if it's the name of the partition table here. So I must use this way, or this command, create gpt create or gpart create, and I say -s. The scheme is a GPT, it's not an MBR. Okay, so it's a GPT because this is what FreeBSD uses. You can add MBR, but it will be a different type of partitioning. I'm going just to use the default way only in this lesson, and I'm going to select DA1. Now I have DA1 created. So when I go back to say show, see, you have now a new table here. So this is a table and this one is a table. Okay, now so this free area is 1 gigabyte, okay, which is the whole drive. Now is currently empty, okay, has no partitions. I want to add now newer partitions, so I use this word gpart, okay, add, and I say the type has to be FreeBSD -UFS, which is Unix file system, the default one of FreeBSD, and I must use the geometry. But before I use the geometry, I must select the size, so I say like 512 megabytes MB, and I also say the geometry, I mention it. Okay, so you can have it this way. This MB, I think you can make it small or big, doesn't matter. So the AP1, it has been added, so I say show. Now here you have just 1 gigabyte free. Next, because I added half the drive, you must see 1 half gigabyte with a partition name and partition table, and I mean not partition table, a partition entry, and also another one which is half gigabyte, which is free. So I'm going to show DA1 now. I'm going through this way of typing. Okay, DA1, show only DA1. I'm not going to show everything. So this is only for DA1. So as I told you, this is just one hard drive here, or one partition drive over here, and it's indexed at number 1, and that's why I got here DA1P1. Okay, now this one that which I also promised you that you will see. Okay, this is a new free empty space. So if I want to add a new empty space, okay, and now I want to have it as a DOS partition. Okay, now yeah, this is DOS partition I'm going to use, and I'm going also to make it less, because once I had it, I have tried it, it will complain. So I make like 2 megabytes free. But here, if you want to have a swap partition, you say swap. Okay, if you have a ZFS on type of file systems, okay, you can have it like this. You can also use MBR for DOS, so I'm going to use MBR. Okay, so when I show my drives again, so I have, this is an MBR, and the other one which is a UFS. Okay, now yes, so now I have 2 partitions. Now those partitions are ready to be written on and used. Now before start writing on them, okay, first you have to do this. You have to format the drives, okay, the partitions I mean. So you have to use this command, new and fs. Okay, now this is a new fs as such. Okay, we have 2 new fs, one for DOS, which I'm going to use with this one, and there's another one with the UFS. Okay, new FS. So new FS uses will partition only this, it cannot partition otherwise, and new FS MS-DOS, it can partition the MBR only. Okay, and we'll get a fat I think FAT32 for MS-DOS. Okay, so I'm going to do this /dev. Okay, of course there's a space, /dev/ SD, sorry, DA1P1. Cool, and I press enter, and it tells you that it's formatted. Of course it will not take long because it's very small partition. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for the P2, so I'm going to edit this line, and I'm going to use the MS-DOS and this one. Okay, so now to read and write in on those partitions, first you have to use mkdir and open a new drive, a new disk, sorry, a new directory, and it's preferred to add it under MNT. I'm going to use Unix. Okay, this is a Unix FS. Cool. So I create this folder. So I want to read the contents of DAP1. Okay, if I want to use any partition, I must use a folder from which I can access the contents of this drive. So this means if I want to read this partition, okay, I have to attach it to a folder. So this kind of attachment, it has a name. It's called mounting. Okay, so I'm going to use this command named mount, and slash div slash da1p1, and I'm going to attach it to this directory, Unix FS. Okay, so if I list Unix FS, so you'll have something over here. I can, for example, like open a new file, something like touch slash mnt Unix FS help. Okay, now if I list back again, you see this, and if I use this command to unattach, you won't see the file named help. It's you mount, not you unmount. Okay, so slash mnt ufs. Okay, and it will be unmounted. So if I list again, so I don't have anything. Where's .snap? I did not create .snap. Okay, so this is what we call mounting. This is what we call reading the contents of your hard drive. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to do with DOS. So here, mkdir, let's go for it. Yeah, this is Microsoft, for example. Okay, and here mount slash div slash da1p1. okay, and slash mnt and Microsoft. Okay, and here's the listing slash mnt Microsoft. Okay, no, sorry, it's on da2 we're talking about. First I have to unmount and this is mount. I made the mistake, sorry. This is T2. Okay, what's going on? Yep. Oh, it's a sorry, you have to say that it has to be DOS partition. So T ms DOS. Oh, sorry. Okay, now he's using MS-DOS FS. You don't use MS-DOS. Okay, it doesn't matter. So when I list slash mnt Microsoft, so I don't have anything. So I can, for example, touch a file as mnt Microsoft help. I make a file here. Now if I list again here, so if I can, you unmount slash mnt Microsoft. Now it's unmounted, so I can list back again. I don't have anything. Okay, so this is how you mount a partition. Okay, now I know later we're going to talk how to save this kind of information forever, so I don't go all the time mount and unmount. And also I have to warn you, or like give you a notice, that the creation of the folder must be once, okay? Or it's not a must, it's like you do it once, you don't need to do it many times, okay? Just once. Okay, and then you can attach to it any time, any partition, you saw that, okay, at any time you want, okay? And you can access the same drive from 2 different folders. So this is how you add a new partition. Now I want to delete a partition, so gpart show da1, okay, okay. So after showing the partition table, okay, I want to delete, for example, this one, the number 1. So the way to do it is gpart delete, and I have to mention which index, which partition number. So I press number 1 and I say from da1, okay. So I delete it. Now da1 p1, which is the partition 1, is gone, so I'm going to show da1, okay. If I want to add a new one on the same partition, I can use this add, where is that? Oh, sorry, you have to use the add command and mention which location, which index location. So add, and I'm going to use 1, and instead of type MBR for those, and I'm going to also set the size, so S equals like 400 MB, okay, on da1. So see, I can have this, and there is a new free space afterwards. So again, I'm going to delete the number 1 just for the sake of the show over here, this lesson. So this is lesson 1 is gone, I mean partition 1 is gone. I'm going to delete partition 2, okay. Now this is the A1, so it's back to its original position, but or situation, but now I'm going to delete this partition table, okay, right away. By the way, you cannot delete a partition table unless you delete all the contents of those partition or all its contents. Like you have to delete, as we did now, partition 1 and partition 2, then you can destroy this table. So to destroy it, we use the word destroy, so I use gpart destroy and da1, okay. And here if I say show da1, I don't have such a geometry, and if I show everything here, I don't have no other arrow similar to this one, which represents the da1, okay. I have only for da0. Okay, so this is how you destroy the partition table. You can repartition it any way you like, okay. Now there are other commands. I wish you that you try yourself, wasting your time on them, so like for example the resizing, okay. And hope you liked my lesson, and thanks for watching. Goodbye. Please subscribe and your comments.